in 2026. Stetson basketball will be.
Welcome into the inaugural episode of the Hatters Hoop Show with head coach Donnie Jones. I'm your host, Jesse Simmons with Hatters Prime, and it's good to be back here in the awesome Edmunds Center. It's got a lot of facility updates we've been seeing. The lights are bright, the camera is good, and the season is right around the corner. Coach Jones, it's good to see you today.
Oh, it's good to be with you, Jesse.
A lot of things that we can jump into, but it's just exciting to be here. It's exciting to be at half court, all the developments you guys have been doing. You've been investing in this program. You've been investing over the past summer. It's been a very unconventional summer for you, especially in the recruiting circuit. But let's talk about you first before we get into it. You're entering your seventh season. You're just 2 years away removed from an NCAA tournament run and that magical season running through the ASUN tournament. Last year posed enough challenges as it is, but how do you prepare for this season to close that chapter and open a new one?
Yeah, it's a great question, Jesse. I mean, it's been an incredible transformation since we arrived in 2019. Right? You walk into COVID and get all the way to ASUN championship, and then obviously, the rules of the game flipped a little bit with the way the NCAA has been able to do things here. So for us, we just went through a transformation. We had 10 new guys last year, and now we've added 8 new guys. So now it's just trying to build a team quick. And that's been a challenge because that ASUN championship team 2 years ago was one that was a process over 4 years. So, but we're excited about the guys we got here. We've had a whole year to kind of bring this team together. The team we had last year, put it together in 5 weeks. And so that has been the challenge from the past. But this year, brought back 5 guys, had some guys I think
And for you to simply put, what's the expectation this year with a new team, with a new staff? It's going to look different. What's the expectation?
Yeah, well, we always create an expectation for ASUN championship. That's always the expectation. I think the biggest challenge that we always have is so much of the unknown and what other teams have. Everybody. So how do we predict that is sometimes hard.
Absolutely. And we won't hear mentioned on this show, I have to give love to my alma mater and a place that you served as well, Coach, with winning a national championship in 06 and 07 with the Florida Gators, where I just came from. So with that, I mentioned it because you're no stranger to success, right? How does the preparation now, in terms of being a head coach, how does the preparation this year compare to years past?
Yeah, well, it has been a challenge. Obviously, we've got a lot of new faces, and you got to try to do what you did in 4 years at one year. And that's a challenge. So how do we become significant? How do we build trust? How do we become brotherhood in a short period of time? And during those years of Florida, we built that. And there was an identity that was created over time to become who we were. And so that is the challenge. And, that's been a thing we've spent a lot of different energy in the off season and trying to bring these kids together.
Absolutely. Well, with that, you set me up for the next question here. Tell me about your staff. Tell me about, you've only returned 5 returners from last year, so you have a good mix as you look down along the roster of seasoned veterans and brand new faces. How do you guys mix together and get that right kind of lineup of who you want on your roster?
Yeah, great question. Retention is everything. That you can bring back guys. That's what our success was in the past. And so knowing that 5 guys come back, still young, still guys that had impact guys, so maybe change Phillips. But we brought in, 8 other guys from higher Division I programs, guy from Texas A&M, a guy from Nebraska. And then we blended in some serious, with some guys in Division II. So we've tried to find a mix of guys who've kind of been at that level and guys who have got experience.
Yeah, one of those guys you mentioned too just now, Jamie Phillips Jr., is a guy coming off an all-freshman selection last year. Now he had so much experience as a freshman. Now he gets to turn around as a sophomore and lead this crew that's going to be older than him, but at the way he's going to be at the top of the key, running all these schemes in place. How important is it to have him return and be kind of the cornerstone centerpiece of what treatment?
Yeah, he's the most important player. I thought he impacted with third days last year, where Extension didn't have to play. It's really impacted earlier, I think. But for him, he's a leader. He's a winner. He comes from great success in high school there. And JP's got the right mentality. Was really invested in wanting to come back and win here. And so he's going to be a huge part of it. And I think he's done a great job this offseason.
As I've been talking to other players and other staff this year, trying to figure out what that starting five is going to look like. Are you in a comfortable position yet to where you think you can tell me what that starting five is going to look like and who it's going to be against Rhode Island?
Yeah, I think we're close. I mean, I think we know 4 of them.
Okay.
I think we're still trying to figure out the speed today and what we line up with. But I feel, coming back here with obviously Chandler Phillips, he's going to play all of us. So we'll be this position. It'll be all of them. So they'll play everywhere. He's positionless. We get the kid Ethan Pokel that came in this year. It's old hot Jewish country. Can really shoot the ball. He's put a huge cross.
Huge pickup.
Star. The other guy that we're excited about is his dad played near college pool. His dad's Jimmy Pool. He had a great career near college transfer. So he's been one of the best in the off season. He's had a great fall and a great summer. And then the big kid underneath there, that was in Nebraska, all the very was injured at the end. That was healthy. And he's been a huge factor, especially defensively. It's going to bring a different level back. That's Batar.
Yeah.
He's 6'10", but with 5. And he's going to bring a great presence. So, point guard spot, we're still debating on what that'll be right now, but obviously that's going to be an important part for us.
It's hard to not notice Batar when you walk into the facility. Like, wow, that guy looks like an athlete. He looks like he's been around the world, played basketball, which he has. It's good to have experience like that, him being a junior, and get a little more experience under his belt. I think he's going to be a difference maker for you guys this year, along with your other roster staff that's going to rotate through this 5-man. In terms of like the X's and O's, what I've been hearing is, you guys are going to be fast in transition, fast off the ball, a good shooting team. For you, off the court, what is like the identity that you've picked up? What is like the kind of energy you felt from this team? The games are only a couple of days away. You're starting to feel these guys excited.
Sure.
What are you picking up from them off the court?
Yeah, these guys, they love this lot. I think it's important that you're trying to figure out your identity that's been successful here. It's these guys that got a crazy basketball IQ. Guys got a great love for the game. Great high character hero, obviously, terrific students. And I think that coming in, they got a very high self-esteem. I think they got to play fast, got to play smart. They can cut depth, so you can't play faster or break guys in off the bench. He's productive. So I think this group is very similar to the group I thought I had. Not the championship the year before that is becoming. We had a couple guys that were being country well shooting. We have the potential with Jake Johnson. The other kid that could be a starter for us on the transfer in had terrific NAIA.
I think it's really cool, personally, how you've brought in an experienced player from every level. NAIA to D2, all the way up to D1 level from different schools. I think that's been fantastic because it gives experience, it gives grittiness, toughness, and it gives a balance.
Yes.
Right? Now I want to kind of move into preseason poll rankings. Also, too, as a personal preference, I think it's a high wash in terms of where you are placed preseason because everybody has an opinion. Everybody talks in preseason where you're going to be placed. In terms of the polls so far, you guys are projected in the 8th slot in this conference. With the team, though, how do you block out outside noise? Whether you're first, last, in the middle of the pack, how do you block out outside noise for a team that has youngsters, but they have a veterans roster kind of sprinkled throughout this team? How do you block that out?
Yeah, well, it's, every year there's nothing predictions. That's what they are.
Right.
And there's no champions, obviously. We always talk about that a little bit. It'll be decided in March. And so the team that won the championship, when I look at that banner, I think about, we have 3 guys who didn't have a Division I scholarship offered to Stetson. And they become that. And so they were never predicted. We were always picked something around. The year we were in Florida, we went even top 125 of the country. And won the national championship. So we understand. So you give those examples that's all judged for today. It's really about who you become. So it's about the process. We play a very tough schedule. We do it on purpose. We put those guys in the environment. So I learned a long time ago, Billy Donovan, great head coach, is that you never know how good your team's going to be until they experience it first.
One of those questions that I'm curious about as well, in terms of when I've covered baseball this year, Coach Tremper has always harped on strength of schedule. You want to play the hard teams earlier in the year. For you guys, the Ken Palm, RPI, how much does that come to life and how much do you take thought into that in building a schedule for this year in terms of where you are in the conference and just part of that?
Absolutely. We try to play different styles. I like both different things. But our guys on the national platform, like Florida, we played all those big schools, and then we'll play Miami this year. But
Early in the season, too.
Early in the season, second game, or third year to play with Miami. And then, we're going up to Grand Canyon. You play Grand Canyon. And look, that's home court advantages. All college basketball. So to go in that atmosphere, I think, and travel on the road, put us in that mindset is learned. That's going to hold us with the ASUN team, conferences teams. So I think any of that stuff, we're looking for style of play. We're looking for the type of teams and atmospheres we can get in. I think any of that helps grow your team. That's going to be.
Couple questions as we finish up here on the Hatter Soup Show with head coach Donnie Jones. For the Stetson fan that is the loyal one that's been watching you since your days stepping here and having your imprint felt in the Stetson Hatters community, what is your message to them this year after a challenging season you had last year to stay hopeful and they're kind of chomping at the bit to get back in this arena and watch basketball?
Yeah, well, we need you. I mean, obviously, we've proven this is a place you can win on. All right, so it took 53 years of that to happen here. Obviously started with the great Glenn Wilkes to this point, and brought a vision here. And now, we proved it can happen, and we're building for that. We need you to come out, support this team during this time. Never been more than their time.
Absolutely. And last two questions for you here. The first one, simply at its best, what is Stetson Hatter basketball?
Yeah, well, I think we're going to be a team that's going to be fun to watch. We're very unselfish. Our team is going to play together. We're going to play ball. We'll see cheer over each other. All right, and I think these kids just represent what our university is. I think they're smart, they're classy, they're kind.
Last one here, as we kind of wrap up the show, Coach, I got a surprise for you here. I got our whiteboard that I love giving our head coaches. But in the pregame show and the preseason show, right here, and this question says, in 2026, Stetson basketball will be with a blank. Coach, I want you to just fill that out, and when you're ready, read that to me.
Okay. Yeah.
This is a good one. Make sure you stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. The anticipation is building. If you can feel it. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and read that into the camera real quick.
Yeah, in 2026, the Stetson basketball team will be contending for an ASUN championship.
Let's go. We love it. We love a coach with high expectations and a coach that knows what it takes to win here, not only nationally, but into land in a 386, and that's something that I'm excited for, looking forward to, and it really just energizes a program. I'm excited to see the guys that have been here for a little bit, brand new faces we've seen, even the short conversations I've had with some of these players. You can tell they're hungry, and you can tell they are ready to go. Yes. And Coach, it's awesome to see you again.
Yeah,
it's great to have you.
Jesse, thank you.
And this is the first inaugural episode here in the preseason of the Hatters Hoop Show with head coach Donnie Jones. I'm your host, Jesse Simmons, and make sure you stay tuned for every episode coming weekly and all the updates on the Hatters Prime Instagram and social media accounts.